What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again, talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how is it going?
Connor, I'm good. Now, not to critique your intro there, but
yes.
I was looking at the clock here on the computer. That intro is 2 seconds faster than it usually is. I just want you to, take your time. Don't worry about it. We're under no pressure here.
There's some hyper analytics going on here, and I'm not a fan of it.
I just like things to be consistent.
Yeah.
And frankly, that's why
we consistently put out average episodes.
Below average, consistent.
I don't want to scare you. If we start getting too good, I know you get worried.
Oh, the fame goes to my head too quickly.
This is Movie Monday, Shaun. There is actually lots of movie news this week. We are getting to a trailer from last week. So the Wandavision trailer did come out, I think it was maybe 7 or 8 days ago, but we didn't get to it last week. We will get to it this week, but we are starting this week with the big news.
Oh.
And I think it's something that you're going to like, Shaun. I haven't told you this because I tell you a few of the stories just so you can do a bit of research.
Yeah, so I don't look like a total idiot.
Yeah, and it's somehow you still pull it off. I don't know how you do it, but oh, I'm sad now. No, but and sometimes with a story I don't tell you because I really want to get your genuine reaction. And this week we're starting with the HBO Max special Justice League.
Ooh.
And that is the news that Justice League is reportedly spending $70 million to complete the Snyder Cut.
Fuck me, what?
So, do you remember when Justice League came out? I'm sure you do. You were around.
I was a young lad.
A young lad, and you were full of dreams, and you thought, the Justice League, they can't mess this up. Well, the movie did not get much fanfare. But what held everyone back from going too mad was Zack Snyder has a cut. There's a Snyder Cut around the place. It definitely exists, and the whole movie's there. You just need to edit it together, Zack. And so they were kind enough to go through with it at HBO Max. But now the news is they're spending $70 million to complete the cut. Shaun, I have only one question.
Yeah?
Would you spend $70 million on a movie that is already complete?
I don't... No, not at all. Like, the thing is, at what point does the law of sunk cost come into this? Because, however much money Justice League made, adding another 70 million onto the cost, they need to make at least 70 million off of a HBO streaming service release.
Yeah.
To make that somewhat worth it.
Now, HBO are notoriously, they don't give a shit. On John Oliver's show, they will just throw money at anything. Because they don't care. But I just think the whole idea of Zack Snyder being like, my cut is good, just let me do it. And then he gets there, and it's kind of like, I need another $70 million to complete it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, now I know there was news this week that they are bringing in actors to do reshoots.
For a whole week of additional photography. But Henry Cavill is not involved in those reshoots.
So they're happy enough with the footage they have of him. They can just...
They've nailed that upper lip. They don't need to do any more.
It's already in the bag, lads. Don't worry about it.
I like how Zack Snyder's like, no, guys, can we not just get him in? Zack, we did it. We absolutely nailed it the first time around. I think it'll just be a waste of money.
Print, my friend.
They did not see him. It looked gorgeous.
And is there a reason to pay is it for the actors? Is the $70 million and the crew? I guess.
No, that's only part of the budget. So it will now cost $70 million to put together. Part of the budget will go towards a week of additional photography with some of the lead actors of Justice League. Now, they don't say which lead actors, but the initial budget was $25 million. So we've already gone up to 70, which I can only assume will get higher and higher the longer this goes on.
Yeah, and because is there a definite release date yet? No, they can keep pushing this back and just keep pouring money into it.
It says 2021. So I think that's as much detail as we've got so far.
Right, okay. This is fascinating. I guess they're not producing any other movies, though, really, at the minute. So they can just float a little bit of extra cash towards them.
I understand that, but I just think the whole idea of you doing this is because, like, the idea was that, oh, well, if there's a Zack Snyder cut there, we could just throw that out for an extra bit of money. Like, that's pretty good. If you've got something just a bit extra on the top.
Just
but
hanging around.
Yeah, but if you're spending $70 million to put together a movie that I can only assume is maybe half done, then I don't know if the positives outweigh the negatives in why you would do this.
This is true. And they're really banking on this being good, aren't they?
They are. Shaun, I just have a question. Will this be good?
I mean, here's the thing. What I want to do for you, Connor, I want to list you out a few movies that cost $70 million to make.
Right.
And
I know for a fact that Deadpool cost 56 or something when it came out. So maybe this movie will be just as good as Deadpool.
And successful, maybe.
Successful, yes.
Inglourious Bastards, $70 million.
Yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
A lot of that went into Bugs Bunny, and the animation, to be fair.
And Bob Hoskins.
And Bob Hoskins, the animation of Bob Hoskins, yes.
It Chapter 2.
Okay.
Alien
that had a lot of
versus
special
Predator.
Effects.
Did have a lot of special effects.
Alien vs Predator is kind of working against your argument here, but keep going.
I maintain that the first one is all right.
Okay.
Osmosis Jones cost $70 million. You could,
right.
Would you rather Jack Snyder's Justice League or another Osmosis Jones?
You know what? I don't think I ever expected that question to be asked of me in my life. And
well,
go on.
What if, Connor, I offered you on a silver platter?
Okay,
Zack Snyder's
on one side
Justice League.
So Zack Snyder's Justice League, that's locked in. That's on one side of the aisle. What do I have to grab my attention on the other side?
You could have this, Connor, and then have $3 million spare.
Oh, I would love a $3 million spare, please.
The New Mutants.
Oh no! Oh no!
So which would you rather, Connor?
Oh man, that is not good. Would you rather get shot in the balls or the face? I don't really know. See, this is 70 million on the. I would say, how much did the first Justice League cost? Maybe $250 million to make originally. So
yeah.
They're getting up close to $300 million or whatever in regards to the movie itself. This is
$300 million was the initial budget for Justice League, by the way.
Right, so then $370 million this is currently at. So you're getting up to near $400 million for a movie that might be good, but you're kind of just rearranging a movie that's not good to do it.
Didn't we have this exact same scenario with Solo?
Yeah, they put a lot of money into the reshoots and that. Now, Solo is a grand movie, but is it worth it?
I don't think so. Avengers Endgame cost $356 million to make.
So in the end, this will cost more.
This will cost more to make than Avengers Endgame.
Worth it? I think so. Did you see that top lip? Henry Cavill's top lip is gorgeous.
It's just framed, so it's always out of shot, I bet.
He's just always terribly framed. They've always cut off his head in every scene.
But it's like they make it look artistic, like it's a Wes Anderson's Justice League.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So they are spending all of this money to redo Zack Snyder's Justice League for HBO Max. It will have its own special. They're bringing everybody back. I don't know if Affleck and Gadot are going in for the reshoots, but I can only assume. We've heard Henry Cavill isn't, but that doesn't mean that they aren't. I suppose they're bringing in somebody, some of the main stars anyway, to reshoot some scenes.
Yeah.
And I just think the whole thing might just be getting out of hand. It seemed like a good idea if it was just profit. If it's just straight profit and you're just going to re-release it and make $100 million, go for it. But if you're spending $70 million to get the thing out, it's kind of looking less positive as an idea.
Yeah, because what if it comes to the point and it's like, oh, we missed out on making a profit by $60 million. You know, like, then you're going to feel real stupid about putting 70 million quid into this.
How much can you change in $70 million? Well, you can do a whole movie, but can Zack Snyder save Justice League?
This is the question, and I'm interested to see if he can, but I don't have an answer about whether or not it'll be good. I think what I've seen of it so far, I like the way that it's been presented so far. Like that trailer we got, I think that's perfectly serviceable. But I would rather them give $70 million to Matt Reeves as the Batman over this, I think.
Because I think it's more heinous to do this and just have it be grand. Like, to go through all of this trouble to release a grand movie, like to promote your movie from shit to grand, I think is worse. If you're going to do it, it has to come out, like, amazing.
Yeah, this has to be, like, nearly universally enjoyed, I think, for any of this gamble to pay off.
I just think, I seen that news story and I went, oh, Zach, it's getting out of hand. It's getting away from you.
Just rein yourself in, dude.
Okay, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this involves your favourite hero and mine, Sean, James Bond. James Bond, as he's called in some areas of the world. And that is that the betting has officially stopped, has been suspended on Tom Hardy being cast as the new James Bond. Sean, what do you think of this rumour that has come out over the last week and a half or so? He is not confirmed, but they have already suspended betting on it, so we're probably maybe a few weeks out from the confirmation taking place.
Yeah, I think this tends to happen with a lot of stuff. Like, I think it happens when they're announcing a new Doctor Who and things like that, is that they're like, look, lads, it's a surefire thing, so we're going to lose a lot of money if we pay out on all of these.
Yeah.
I like Tom Hardy as an actor. I think he's... this is going to anger some people. I think he's better than James Bond.
Oh, I can see why you said that. I think, like, James Bond 30 years ago, I think, is right around his level, but I think he's an Oscar-nominated actor, and I'm not saying if you were an Oscar-nominated, you can't be James Bond, but the James Bond franchise has been losing a lot of steam over the last few years rather than gaining traction, whereas Tom Hardy's been going in the other direction. It feels like a backward step, weirdly, yeah. But I suppose to him, James Bond is still James Bond. Like, you're guaranteed to make money off a James Bond film.
Exactly, and I'm sure he has, like, treasured memories of watching James Bond movies growing up, because when he would have been around, like, 12 or 13, James Bond is the coolest thing you can ever imagine. But I think, just in terms of what a general audience likes in a movie, I think that, and I've been thinking about this because I was wondering, like, I should like James Bond. By all accounts, it should appeal to everything I like. But I think intelligence agencies and spies back in the 80s, 70s, 80s and 90s, no one had a fucking clue what they did. So it was all just cool gadgets and travelling around the world. And now we all know it's like, oh, it's just like an NSA and there's a bunch of people in an office listening to phone calls. And it's hard to make that entertaining.
Especially because there's so many good, like, spy shows on Netflix or, like, that are coming out on lots of streaming services. So people are kind of getting their fill through those shows rather than... Before, you didn't really have a spy genre unless it was in the film. Like, you had some spy shows on TV, but, like, nothing with the big budgets that James Bond had. Like, you got to go see this extravaganza, which you have this amazing spy and he's going around the world. And I think that has kind of been lost. And we mentioned it last week or the week before that Daniel Craig came into the James Bond franchise and he reinvigorated the whole thing with Casino Royale. And that is a really good movie. And why it was good was because we went from the campiness of Brosnan to just, like, that scene with him in the bathroom just kicking the shit out of that guy. Like, that is really good. And it's good to have that dichotomy between the two movies. But I think Tom Hardy, I can't see him doing campy stuff. So it will just be more of the same of what Daniel Craig was doing. in a weird way. Like, I don't think Tom Hardy can be in a scene and not be like a powerhouse, because that's just what he is.
That's the thing. But I think, wouldn't it be really interesting if this James Bond wasn't like... But then, now I'm just making Kingsman up in my head. Like, he was a street level guy, and he's kind of a brawler, which I think would suit Tom Hardy. To be like, he's kind of rough around the edges as a spy, but he gets the job done.
But is that not Casino Royale?
Maybe. Yeah, I guess it is. But as you say, that's been lost. So we'd just be going back to Casino Royale.
Yeah, I think Tom Hardy as James Bond is really good for James Bond as a franchise. I think if he is confirmed over the next few weeks, I think they have done really well with that signing, because a lot of people will see Tom Hardy's name on a poster and they will want to go see the movie. He's one of those stars that there probably isn't that many around these days, but if people see Tom Hardy, they're like, oh, this must be good. I'd say it can't be bad. Tom Hardy's in it. But I think he is kind of... I don't know what he can bring that Daniel Craig didn't already bring to the franchise.
Yeah, without a radical like rewrite of James Bond as a character, it's going to be more of the same, I think.
Which I think might be good for the first one, but maybe the second and third one that he does will eventually start losing steam. I still think Idris Elba was the right shout. I think Idris Elba was the way to go if you were going to cast anyone. And now, of course, I think he's too old. But if you were going to cast him in the last 3 years, I think Idris Elba was the man to go with.
Yeah, now what they need to do in the new one, I think, is not make it about, oh, being a spy has changed and Bond's ways are the old ways. Give up on that story. It's boring as fuck.
No, but what normally happens is Bond's ways are the old ways and we don't agree with it. And then the last act is like Bond going, you've all been fooled into doing everything new. With the old ways are the best ways. Yeah. This is why I haven't been fooled. And then there's always someone talking cryptically in a cell. Someone who wants themselves to be captured. And then there's always the bit like Die Hard 4.0 where it's just he's talking to a bunch of nerds and the nerds don't know what's going on. He's like, you don't get it, you just gotta punch someone until it works.
But like in what I like is, and I've not seen it, but you've told me about it, is that, you know, Bad Boys for Life?
Yes.
I like that one of the biggest dudes in that whole crew is the tech guy.
Oh yeah, he's massive.
Yeah, he's in Vikings, and he's built like a Viking, and then he put on like 40 pounds as well of muscle. But you were telling me he's the tech guy, like he's in charge of the computers.
Yeah, I don't think there's any scenes where he fights anybody, but he's standing beside Will Smith and he's much bigger than him.
Yeah, so like there's room for that like not all spies are massive and not all tech guys are weedy. And it doesn't have to be either or in these movies. Bond can use his old ways and still, you know, have a microchip in his head or whatever they want.
The classic. That's a classic Bond storyline, to be fair.
I don't know. This is coming from a man who does not care about James Bond at all, but who thinks Tom Hardy seems nice.
I think Tom Hardy is a great actor, and he seems like a nice man. And this is why I think we probably aren't as big on James Bond as a lot of people, so seeing this is kind of like, I'd like to see what he brings, but at the same time, I still have zero interest.
Yeah, and how's this going to work in his Venom schedule?
He has to film another 10 Venoms. Where's he going to fit all this in?
He has to film another Tenums.
Would you prefer Tom Hardy or Henry Cavill as James Bond? Just randomly. I just thought of that. Because Cavill in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. does look the exact same as James Bond.
I was just thinking of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Cavill's fucking great in that. I think I want Cavill.
I think Cavill would be a great Bond. Although it'd be very hard to be a spy because he's like 6'4" and he's just massive.
He can't blend in, that's true.
No. Okay, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is everyone's favourite actor, The Rock, the most charismatic man. He is doing a film called Black Adam, and the news coming out this week is that they have officially cast Hawkman in that film. And who they've cast is Aldous Hodge, who will be playing Hawkman, who you might know Aldous Hodge. He recently starred in the Invisible Man remake there from, when was that, February? Maybe January?
February, yeah.
And so he has been cast as Hawkman in Black Adam. I think this is really, really good news. I think Hawkman is a really big character they haven't even tried to tackle yet. What do you know about Hawkman, Shaun?
Part man, part hawk?
No.
What?
No.
Fuck. Well, lads, I had one guess.
I mean, I can understand that logic. He got bitten by a radioactive hawk. He did not. He has actually been around since like the 1940s. I think it was 1940 when he was created. And he's Carter Hall, and he's an archaeologist. And so the first version of the character, there's been a few, but the first version that I think they'll be doing for this movie is that Carter Hall is an archaeologist, and he comes across a magic knife. Oh. And what happens is he finds out that he's actually bear with me, Shaun. He's the soul of an ancient Egyptian priest or prince called Prince Khufu, and he's basically his soul has lived through millennium.
Avocados.
Avocados and lattes, yes. No, millenniums. And so he just keeps going. He's descended upon descendant, and he finds the knife, and it basically reminds him that he is reincarnated as somebody new every single lifetime. And so the person that he is there is Carter Hall. And the story behind that is when he was a prince, he had this feud with this like Egyptian priest, and I'm pretty sure the Egyptian priest killed him and Hawk Girl, who is what's her name? Ciara, I think it is. Right. And I think the priest killed the two of them when they were like lovers in ancient Egypt. But he killed them with a magic knife, and so their souls just keep getting reincarnated over and over again, the two of them. So they are always in modern times.
This is quite similar to, and forgive me for the oversimplification here, the plot of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Took it from this!
No, I think Yu-Gi-Oh's been around, It's certainly since ancient Egyptian times, Connor.
Certainly. And there is no heart of the cards in this, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Is clearly better.
That's true.
Not the near side of a blue eyes white dragon anywhere in this story. The Rock, get on that.
Well, to be fair, there's only there's 4 in the world, but Kaiba rips one up because he's a dick.
Yeah, bastard.
Look, we won't get into Yu-Gi-Oh lore here.
The bastard.
No, this sounds cool. Like, and that sounds like a really interesting, not foil for Black Adam, but I suppose he's a good guy, is he, Hawkman?
Oh, Hawkman is a good guy. Yeah, he's been a member of the Justice Society and the Justice League. If you remember, the animated Justice League cartoon had Hawk Girl as one of the original 7.
Yeah.
And that was actually a pretty big deal at the time, because Hawkman and Hawk Girl, they were characters in DC, but they probably weren't on the same level as everybody else. And it was just good that they chose Hawk Girl in that role. But Hawkman is, I think they come in a partnership, like in a pairing. So if you get one, you normally have the other as well. And so he uses Hawkman, Carter Hall. Why he can fly is he built his suit. This is the original version. He found this metal that's like an alien metal that's like anti-gravity.
Right, convenient.
And it's convenient. And so he builds himself some wings, and then he just can fly. And so the wings do nothing, but he looks like a hawk when he does it.
So it's on brand.
It's on brand. It is on brand, because he's using antimatter or anti-gravity metal. He like makes a suit out of that metal, and so he can fly about the place.
Do you know what? It's better than the Black Condor, who was just raised by condors and so could fly.
And learned how to fly. You learn by watching, Shaun. I don't know what you're giving out about.
That's famously how they teach flight.
Look at me! Watch that plane, Tommy. Watch what it does.
Now run!
Run, Tommy! Arms out!
No, I think he's a good cast. I think that's, like, the Black Adam movie is getting a nice little cast built up for itself here.
See, I don't know what the role of Hawkman will be in this movie, because it's interesting. Like, normally if you had Hawkman and Black Adam in the same story, they're both from ancient Egypt, so that's a good link for the two of them anyway. You could have a thing where, when Carter Hall was back in his Egyptian prince version, him and Black Adam were either friends or enemies, depending on whatever the story dictates.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of this movie is that it's Black Adam's movie, so he is kind of the anti-hero as well, so you're probably going to need another big bad villain to be in this, that the two of them can team up and fight, maybe?
Maybe it's like the Pharaoh is like, look, you're a bad dude, but you're the only one who can stop this even badder dude.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that priest also has his soul reincarnated a lot of the time as well. So he could be the villain.
That would make a lot of sense.
But I don't know what stake Black Adam would have in that fight. And the movie is called Black Adam, so he's like getting in between a squabble between Hawkman and some weird priest.
Yeah, no, the danger is there that they chicken out and they do a Venom on it, where they turn him into more hero than anti-hero. And it's like, he redeems himself for Egypt and all this, you know?
Because it is strange, because you cast the most charismatic man as Black Adam, and I don't think anyone can dislike The Rock, but Black Adam as a character is Shazam's big bad. So you're already kind of at a weird intersection of what you do with that character.
Yeah, it's not that I don't care, it's just like, at this point I have such little information with regards to all of this movie and how even it feeds into Shazam, or how Shazam feeds into it, that I think I'm just going to wait and see. I'm reserving judgment, I think.
And I think that's probably the best thing you could do, because they will be releasing news about this slowly, but like, I think it will be an interesting movie to watch what path they take here. But it is a good introduction of, if you introduce Hawkman and Hawkgirl, that's a whole other franchise that DC could tap into, either on a streaming site or in movies themselves.
Or in some kind of $70 million HBO Max show.
If we could just reshoot Justice League again for $90 million and add Hawkman and Hawkgirl into there, you could be onto something.
Just to, flesh out the universe a bit. Just go full George Lucas on it. Make a new version every year.
I think every year Zack Snyder should go back and spend $90 million remaking Justice League and adding different members to the league to see which one would actually be good.
Yeah, like what combination of characters would work?
There's one where he takes out Batman and Superman, and everyone's just like, this is a bit weird. Lads, I added in Hawkman and the Black Condor. I don't know what you're giving out about.
Somehow this is the one that works.
Yeah, it's some weird. They keep asking audiences which one they like, and they love the Black Condor. It doesn't make any sense. He just learned to fly by looking at birds. What the fuck?
People like that. People like an underdog.
Yeah, so they have cast Hawkman in the Black Adam film. I'm excited to see what happens with that. It's going to get very Egyptian heavy, I think, at the start. There's going to be a lot of exposition. Hopefully it doesn't fall into the trap that maybe X-Men Apocalypse fell into. You don't do it all for the
Men
first...
Apocalypse.
Yep, got them.
Nice.
Got them. So we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and something, Sean, that might interest you is that Moon Knight. Now, there's some Moon Knight news, and that is that there is a rumour claiming that Marvel really wants Keanu Reeves to play Moon Knight in a Disney Plus series. Sean.
I'm all for this. This sounds amazing.
Who is Moon Knight, by the way?
Oh, the Fist of Khonshu? Let me tell you,
yes.
Connor. Moon Knight was a mercenary, and then he turned good and killed a bad mercenary.
Yeah.
But that bad mercenary managed to stab him through the chest or something. And then Mark Spector wandered into an Egyptian temple. He was in Egypt at the time, forgot to mention that.
It's a classic origin story, to be fair.
It's a classic. We've heard a very similar one not but 10 seconds ago.
Yes.
So he wanders in and he kind of lies down at the foot of this statue, and it's the god Khonshu, who is, what is he? He's the claimer of vengeance or something like that.
That's a pretty good thing to be.
It really is.
If you're the claimer of vengeance.
And yeah, and he's like the god of the moon and all this. And so Mark is revived, but he has all the powers. He has like god powers, essentially. And like reflexes, strength, the whole 9 yards. And then he goes and he gets revenge on that mercenary that killed him. Then he comes back and he kind of sets up as a vigilante known as Moon Knight, who was one of the coolest costume designs in all of comics. And then what's really interesting about him is that he has multiple personality disorder or dissociative personality disorder. So,
yes, I remember you telling me this, yeah.
Yeah, so his secret identity is like, he has a couple of them, is the thing. He has like a billionaire playboy, so that he can fund his operation. One of his identities is like a taxi cab driver on the street.
So he can learn all the information down there.
Yeah, and then obviously Moon Knight is another one. And then Mark Spector is also a different personality than all of the other ones. And so they all combine into Moon Knight. But he has this like real mental trauma outside of being a vigilante. And
could you see Keanu Reeves playing the character? Because according to the news, is that Marvel Studios is looking for an actor in their 40s to 50s to play Spectre, a grizzled veteran turned mercenary in the series.
I could see that. Like if you even look at John Wick, kind of Keanu Reeves, you have that level of anger in Mark Spector. I think you have a great character on your hands.
And I think Keanu Reeves has come out recently and multiple times actually said he kind of wants to do another comic book movie for like the last few years. And he hasn't specifically said Marvel, but I think it has been implied that, I mean, I wouldn't turn them down if they wanted me to do something with Marvel. And Kevin Feige, I think, even revealed last summer that like they were talking to Keanu Reeves about a role. I think that was for the Eternals originally.
Yeah.
But they want to get him in.
Yeah, Marvel do this, is that they like scout out actors, and even if it's not for the project they're currently working on, they'll think of them for down the line stuff. That's how Gyllenhaal got Mysterio.
And I think that's a good way to do it. Like, you just pick up these amazing actors and you're like, we want to use Keanu Reeves, but we need the right vehicle to use him in. We can't just throw him in just for having him. Like, this is the perfect opportunity. Kevin Feige wouldn't just, like, pick a big-name actor and put him into a role, I don't think, that doesn't suit them. I think he's going to try and fit them into their best, to get the best out of them. Because you're just kind of you're just losing money if you put them in a role that, maybe you put them in a role that they're okay in, but there's another role in a year that they're going to be amazing for. So just keep them there.
Well, what's really cool is that, like, we're entering into, like, literally a new phase of Marvel is starting soon, and it seems to be like we're getting things like Blade, so we have vampires and shit involved, and we're getting multiversal stuff as well soon. And Moon Knight, Blade, Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange are all on a team together, and they're called the Midnight Suns.
Oh, that's a good name.
It's
great. A very good name.
And they fight against Mephisto, who's basically the devil.
Yes, I know Mephisto.
Yeah, and so you could do a mini team up of all of those heroes, or anti-heroes as they are. Morbius is also in that, but he's owned by Sony, so I don't know if we'll get him.
And nobody likes Jared Leto. Just get out of
Nobody likes him at all. But Connor, do you remember I was telling you about a Spider-Man story called Brand New Day?
Vaguely.
This is where Spider-Man and Mary Jane get married and they're happy out, right? And this is after Civil War, so everyone knows who Spider-Man is. Much like they currently do in the movies.
True.
So,
that's where we are right now.
Yes. So, Aunt May is dying, and so Spider-Man makes a deal with Mephisto that, okay, let Aunt May live, and what Mephisto wants in return is everyone's memories of the past, like, year, which includes Peter and MJ getting married, and everyone knowing who Peter is. Like, the comic book writers just reset it in that really dumb way.
Right.
So they could conceivably do the exact same thing in live action.
Just get rid of it all. Endgame never even happened.
Wouldn't that be great for the writers, though, if no one remembered the snap?
And you just went back 5 years. Like, you're just back to the original Infinity War, but Thanos is like, leave it. It'll be fine.
What was I looking for again?
Yeah. Head like a sieve. I'm after walking into the next room and I can't remember why I'm here.
I just think we're going to get a lot of weird mystical shit in Marvel soon, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, and I think Moon Knight is a cool Disney Plus show to put in. If you get Keanu Reeves in for a Disney Plus show, you do 10 episodes of that, I think you will get a lot of people subscribing just to watch that show.
Oh, yeah, that could be their new Mandalorian. Because at the minute, that is the only reason to have Disney Plus, is to watch The Mandalorian.
And I think it's unfair to give Keanu Reeves superpowers. The man is dangerous enough as it is.
Yeah, without being an immortal Egyptian god type. Yeah.
It's just too much, Sean. He's going to be too strong.
I'm totally behind that casting. There were some other castings I've seen thrown around as well. One of the dudes from Suits, you know, Harvey in Suits. He was which I think he could do, like, the billionaire side of things perfectly.
But see, they're saying 40 to 50, like an older gentleman.
Yeah, it is odd that it's going older. But
maybe he's been Moon Knight for a few years, and maybe there's another younger Moon Knight coming in, or maybe there's another younger hero that he's teaching in some way.
Yeah, that could be it. And like, it's cool to have established heroes. That's just like, oh no, they were here. They were just busy.
And it could be a thing where maybe he's lost his way, and like he's trying to. Then there's some big problem, and he's the only one that can solve it. But he's like, I gotta come out of retirement. Fucking hell, right?
Yeah. Oh, I like this. Oh, I can't wait for that show to come out. I hope we get more announcements about that.
And now, of course, we can confirm Keanu Reeves has been cast, but it is what's happening is, I think, Kevin Feige has said he wants Keanu Reeves in. Keanu Reeves has said, I want to do a Marvel show, and now he's heavily rumoured to be Moon Knight. So I'm putting all three together in a big triangle.
I'll go with your red string wall on this one.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and that is a remake of an 80s classic, Sean. That is right, we're back in the remakes. But I think you might weirdly like this one, but also be against it. It's I think you're going to be a weird ground.
What energy do I give out on this podcast?
I'm going to be interested to see what energy you give out, because I have Scarface remake rumour claims Michael B. Jordan is the new Tony Montana.
Fuck, how could you do this to me?
It's weird energy.
It's weird energy. Oh, I've gone on record on this show saying Scarface is one of those movies you don't need to remake. But you've also gone on record saying you love Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I will support him in any movie that he is ever in, ever.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I approve of this. I'm coming down on one side of the line.
What?
Yeah.
That's madness.
Oh, come on, man. It's Michael B. Jordan.
But it's Scarface.
Yeah. The film that is studied as an example of a great film.
That you should probably not remake because you won't do it better.
No, but you can do it different.
You see, your love of Michael B has clouded your judgment here.
Okay. Let me throw the question to you, Connor. Would you watch Michael B. Jordan as Tony Montana?
You see, that's a different question than if I want the movie. If it was out and would I watch it? Perhaps. But do I want it to be created? No.
You said that about Joker and you loved every second.
That's a lie. You know very well that's a lie.
I don't approve of remaking things for the sake of remaking them, but if they've said, oh, we want Michael B. Jordan to do this, that implies that they have an idea and a vision for how to tell that story from a different perspective. I don't think it's going to be the same script. I think it's going to be like the same beats.
Word for word.
Yeah, like it's not going to be a Lion King remake scenario.
And I don't think Michael B. Jordan will be doing an impression of Pacino.
No, but if he does, like, I don't know, like, you know the scene at the end that I'm reloading?
Yes.
That scene, but with the energy of Killmonger.
Yes! That'd be really good.
Yeah, I think that, like, it's not that I'm interested even in seeing Scarface remade, is that I'm seeing what Michael B. Jordan would do with that role, and I think he'd do good things.
I trust Michael B. Jordan to sign on for good projects, but I don't like the idea that they're remaking a movie that does not need to be remade. So you're kind of in this weird limbo currently, where if they don't... Yeah, as you said, maybe it's not a complete remake. Maybe it's just you take inspiration from that movie. The problem is you're going to have to call it Scarface, though, because that's how you get people in. If you're like, this is the new Scarface, you're not going to call it something else.
If we follow, like, current naming trends, is that you just take, like... You try and get a one-syllable sum up of what the entire movie's about.
Cocaine.
Cocaine. Well, it's 2 syllables. Crack.
Coke.
Just call it Coke.
Coca-Cola, like shit.
Oh, fuck, not again. Scar? Or do you call it Face?
Oh, you call it Scar. You definitely call it Scar.
Call it Scar. Ooh, that's interesting. Look, again, remakes are rarely good, except for 21 Jump Street. But this one I'm kind of interested in. I'll give you that much.
And I think they will put a lot more effort into this. I don't... See, it's a strange... Because I wouldn't say this is a money grab, because... Well, I think it is to a certain extent, but I don't think if you were trying to money grab, you would choose Scarface as the one to do it with. Like, there's 100 other properties, as we've discussed, that you would do before. You were like, well, we'll make $1 billion if we do a Scarface remake. I don't know if that audience is even built in anymore.
Yeah, that's a really... And in many ways, you're opening yourself up to, like, film purists who the old ways are the best ways, and it never got better than, you know, like the Brat Pack of Hollywood. So I think... They must want to make this for a reason. I'd be interested when we hear who the director is.
They've been apparently looking to do it for the last 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And is there like a director or a writer attached or anything?
So it's Call Me By Your Name's director, Luca Guadagnino? I can't pronounce his name.
We talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, but I think he's either signed on or he's about to sign on as director.
Okay. I mean, it'll be different. It'll certainly be different, I think.
And I think it could be either good or bad. We don't know. But Michael B. Jordan and the Call Me By Your Name director is a good double act.
Yeah, and I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt so far.
Yeah.
But I reserve the right to say it's shit.
No, you don't. You said you love Michael B. Jordan and everything he does.
Oh, I did say that.
You
Curse this audio platform.
You told me you love Fan Four Stick. You said it's your favourite movie.
No, I didn't say these things. I didn't say them, really.
We're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is something that is absolutely mental as a report. This has come out that the Flash movie is reportedly wanting Nicolas Cage as Superman, Christian Bale, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, and Mr. O'Donnell to cameo in the movie. So, we have found out recently that you've had a few Batmen coming back for the Flash movie, because he's going to be going around all the timelines. And now it has come out that the Flash movie and DC are asking all of these actors to come back for a cameo in the movie.
Okay, but here's the thing, is that in the Arrowverse recently did the Crisis event. Crisis on Infinite Earths. And in that, because here's what's fucked about this whole scenario, okay, is that Brandon Routh in the Arrowverse plays the Atom, right?
But he's also Superman.
He's also Superman, and he also plays Superman in the Crisis event in Arrowverse. But also
Yes.
during the Crisis event, Ezra Miller's Flash met Grant Gustin's Flash.
Yeah.
But, so now, in this new Flash movie, Brandon Routh isn't playing Superman at all.
No, he's not. They have, apparently Nicolas Cage, they're looking for him to come in as a Superman. If anyone doesn't know, Nicolas Cage is obsessed with Superman. He has Superman issue 1, I'm pretty sure, like the super rare 1937 comic.
Action Comics #1 or something like that.
Yeah, Action Comics #1. Tim Burton attempted to make a Superman movie back in the 90s, and Nicolas Cage was cast as Superman in that movie. It never got past the developmental stage, but it's been like one of Hollywood's biggest like jokes. Like, oh, imagine Nicolas Cage, like 90s Nicolas Cage as Superman with his big mullet, is a ludicrous thing to even consider. But they did try and do that at one stage. Then, on the other side, you also have Warner Brothers looking at Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, and Chris O'Donnell to come back. And I suppose it would literally just be for 2 seconds, I'd say. I'd say he turns up, and Val Kilmer and George Clooney and Christian Bale maybe are all there, all the Batmans.
I don't think it's a team-up movie or anything like that.
No, like Kilmer isn't coming back for the final act. Like,
no, I don't think so. And it's not going to be like a Spider-Verse scenario where they all team up at the end. It's going to be, no, this is the wrong universe. No, this is the wrong universe. You know.
I'm just imagining Ezra Miller making a mistake and turning up, and it's George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell dressed as Batman and Robin in their 40s and 60s.
Oh God, that's going to be like, because I was going to say, oh, just do old Bruce Wayne, but that's why you have Michael Keaton in that movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's playing old Bruce, but I think they're all playing old Bruce Wayne.
Connor, you've not realised something.
What?
Is that Chris O'Donnell in Batman and Robin and Batman Forever plays Dick Grayson.
Oh no. Oh no.
We could be getting our first live action Nightwing in the form of Chris O'Donnell in The Flash.
Oh no! I don't think I could have think of a worse scenario for his first big screen debut.
Little Dickie's growing up. He's 40 now.
Little Dickie's big showing on the big screen is going to be Chris O'Donnell playing him when he's real old.
And look, I'm sure Chris O'Donnell's in like decent shape, right?
But yeah, no, I'm not saying anything about the man. I'm just saying the idea that Nightwing, who's a character you could make a lot of money with, his first appearance is going to be as Chris O'Donnell, who is the Dick Grayson from the Batman and Robin universe.
Yeah, now, again, I did misspeak there because we did get Nightwing in Titans, your favourite show.
Oh, we did. Yes.
So this will be his second appearance.
This is true, yes. But see, but that's not technically cinema, though. That's the DC universe or the DC streaming service.
That's true.
So this will be the first silver screen appearance by oh man, I think it would be cool if Kilmer, Clooney, and Keaton all did a thing that maybe, see, Christian Bale looks the exact same, and George Clooney has a bit of the Silver Fox going on. He could be like right at the verge of retirement, but they could have a thing where they're all retired, but maybe some of them took it differently than others. Maybe Kilmer's evil, maybe Clooney's gone a bit mental, we don't know. Like, you could do it separate ways where maybe Keaton takes it the best of them and he's kind of training up Terry McGinnis or something. Yeah, and there's like a Batman Beyond appearance.
That's interesting. An interesting way of looking at it, because like if you look at Christian Bale, like his Bruce Wayne like gave it up, like he got out. Like that's how his story ends.
And he said, "Why don't you use your real name, Robin?"
Oh, there's another Nightwing.
No, that's a Robin. He can't change his name because he has to use his real name.
His real name is Nightwing.
You should use your real name, Nightwing Robin.
Oh, my parents were hippies.
Nightwing Robin. Yeah, I think Christian Bale, like, he's out. So unless they, like, maybe Flash turns up in that that coffee
cafe
place
at the end.
Yeah, in the cafe, and like Michael Caine is there and he'll nod, and Ezra Miller's just like, where the fuck am I?
It's like, oh, this seems like a universe that's way too grounded for me.
Yeah, I don't like this. There's no quips.
Oh, there's never any quips in the Batman movie. Lucius Fox gets a few quips in.
Oh,
Michael
he does.
Caine gets
He
a few
does.
outright jokes.
I think that's Alfred's thing, though. Alfred is the man to bring Bruce down, just like to tease him.
Just to knock his confidence a little bit.
Yeah, I dug his confidence before he goes out to fight crime. You're shit.
You're shit and I hope
Alright.
you die. Classic
I'll talk to you later. Hey, go on, I'll talk to you later. Do you want sandwiches when you get back? Alright, cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah, this is heavily rumoured. Everything with this Flash movie is all very much behind closed doors. Like, they released the fact that they're bringing in Keaton, but I think they're trying to keep a lot of the surprises of who could appear in what way, because you can do anything with this. Like, he can go through multiple universes.
Yeah, but like it's different going through multiple universes in comics and doing it in live action. That's a very surface level statement, I grant you, but like you can only do the same thing so many times before the limitations of, oh, these are actual people on an actual set. Like, you're going to reach that eventually.
Yeah, I think Keaton would have been the one that I would have been okay with. Like, adding Kilmer in, I'm like, it's okay, but I'm not, that's not as exciting as Keaton being in it, or Ben Affleck.
Yeah, and like, and even Bale coming back, like, it's not.
I don't think he should be involved.
No, I don't think he should be involved. It's not a selling point for me to see Christian Bale back as Batman, because they finished those, and they finished it, as well as they could, given everything that went on. But if, like, the last time we see Christian Bale's Batman is chatting to Ezra Miller's The Flash.
I hadn't thought of that, but now I've got a sick feeling in my stomach. Yeah, I don't like that. I think just leave it. Like, it's fine. You can bring back Keaton, because Keaton didn't get a proper send off. I think Kilmer was only around for one, so it doesn't really matter. I would maybe bring back Clooney and O'Donnell just for the sheer fun of it, because they were, they were in that ludicrous movie.
I think they both do it, is the thing.
And yeah, I think it's just a piss take for them two. Bale should stay far away, and then Affleck is just cool to see. I think Bale had the three movie arc. Leave him there. It's fine. I'm not as excited about him as I would be about other people. But then again, there's a lot of people that get Bale is their Batman. Like, a lot of people who maybe aren't into comic books, who have watched those three movies, are like, oh, Bale is a cool Batman. He's the best. And a lot of people say, oh, he's the best Batman. So maybe they will throw him in there just to get that added boost to the sales.
That's very possible. Put Will Arnett in there somewhere as well.
Lego Batman is just standing there.
There's just somewhere in the background there's a little Lego Batman figure. So Will Arnett can be like, I'm in that movie.
The kids at the orphanage call me Dick. Kids can be so cruel. Okay. Okay, we're finishing off this week, Shaun, with the Wandavision trailer. So this is the release of the Disney Plus series that the MCU are bringing to us. And that is involving everyone's favourite Vision. And everyone's favourite Elizabeth Olsen character, Wanda. Or Scarlet Witch. Put them together, you got Scarlet Witch Vision. Or Wandavision, if you want to change it a little bit. And so they released a trailer. Shaun, what did you think of it?
I've never been more confused by a TV trailer. But I'm also loving this. I think it looks class.
It looks batshit insane.
Yeah. And it doesn't look to be holding anything back either. Like, it's okay. I just want to say first off, it looks incredible. Like, just in terms of the quality of the production, it's on Marvel movie level, it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're putting a lot of funds behind this. They're very much trying to get Disney Plus as the go-to thing in between movies. And maybe that will swarm the market, and it will, like, you'll have too much of the MCU, as we were already getting to that point with 3 movies a year anyway. And then in between the movies, you're going to have Disney Plus stuff. But if you do them well, I think people will still keep coming back. Like, they can't be like, oh, well, they're half-arsed in it, so I'm not going to watch it. If everything there's money there, and you're doing it all properly and trying to make it the best it can be, I think people will still watch it, just to keep up with it. So you have WandaVision. It opens with, we've seen it a kind of a little bit in the teaser. I don't know when that was, from maybe 6 or 7 months ago. And you see Wanda and Vision are in their 50s family setup in like this TV environment where they're like in a sitcom kind of thing, and it's pretty obvious that it's all been set up by Scarlet Witch, is it not?
Yeah, and but it seems like she doesn't know. Like if you
really,
yeah, there's points in the trailer she's using her powers and it's all grand. Then there's points in her trailers where there's a bit, they have their neighbours over for dinner, and they're asking questions about where did you guys come from, and neither Scarlet Witch nor Vision can answer. And as the camera zooms in on Scarlet Witch, like, it goes from being a 4:3 aspect ratio, like an old TV, and it widens out until it's 16:9.
I noticed that as well. I have that note here. That's a really cool feature to have there.
Yeah, and I don't think that's done for the trailer. I think that's going to be a lot of, like, the show is playing with those TV tropes.
Yeah, the minute she starts to realise this is not, like, a TV show, like, this isn't real, the screen itself starts widening to be like, no, this is actually real life. Like, the more you realise it, the less like a TV show it becomes.
Yeah, I've been thinking about, like, what it is, and it's, like, my guess is that after Endgame, so Vision is dead. First of all,
I have a theory here too, so I'm interested to see if your theory matches my theory.
Okay, I think, first of all, I think when her and her brother were kids, I think they used to watch these old American TV shows, right? I think they mentioned something about that somewhere in the movies. And I think after Vision dies, Scarlet Witch just starts watching these TV shows as a way to cope. And then slowly she's like, she realizes the full extent of her powers, and then she creates a world where her and Vision can be together. I also think, and this is a big claim, I think Quicksilver is going to be in this show at some point.
Interesting. Also, I will say your theory is wrong from my theory. My theory is way more mental.
Okay. Bear with me, and then I want to hear your theory. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, go on.
So, Scarlet Witch is not just like, it's not just like she's changing what the room looks like. She has created her own, like, pocket dimension that she can live in.
That Vision is there.
Yeah. And I think that's weakening, like, the walls between other dimensions, because this apparently ties into the multiverse of madness. And
she's meant to be a big part of that movie as well.
Exactly. And I think the madness is, like, I think she's actually, like, losing her mind a little bit in this.
I can see that. Like, it's clear that she's not all there, or that she's riddled with grief.
Exactly, and she's trying to cope as best she can. And we see Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel.
Yes, that is the kid in Captain Marvel, and you see her flying across the screen. So she, like, comes back out through. In my head, all I could think of was the Truman Show. Like, she comes
Very
out
similar.
of the bubble.
Yeah, like, and I think she's thrown out by Wanda, right?
Yeah, and also she lands at the government base that is just outside the town. Yeah, and I think they've set that whole town up. Like, the town itself, is there, but they've set up all the government people that are all around that, like S.H.I.E.L.D., that are like, we can't let it go further than here. Like, this weird world that she's created.
Yeah, that's not S.H.I.E.L.D. That's SWORD.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So SWORD is like extra-dimensional, extraterrestrial threats that they deal with.
Okay.
But I think that's how Monica Rambeau gets her powers, is she gets thrown through another dimension and, like, picks them up somehow.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that. She's going to be a big part of this show.
Yeah, I think so. Go ahead with your theory.
See, my theory, Sean, I think you might freak out about this, but it involves a character that you already mentioned earlier on in the show. And that is the fact that Wanda, she's riddled with grief after Avengers Infinity War and Endgame and all that. She decides that she can't take it anymore, and she sells her soul to Mephisto.
Holy fuck.
Sold her soul to the devil, Sean, because she said, I just want Vision back. And he says, well, like, I can give you Vision, but you're going to have to join him in this alternate reality. Like, that's the only place you can stay together. And so her and Vision are in that reality together. And I think this because there's also a character there called Witch Agatha.
Agatha
you know
Harkness.
So you know the lady in the car.
Yeah.
That's the same lady. She appears multiple times in this trailer, and I think she's working with Mephisto to basically like create this whole universe. And so there's several times where Wanda starts to like go, this isn't very real, like, and then it's her job to, like the Truman Show, turn up and be like, no, everything's grand, don't worry about it. Like, all these things that are happening, they're all explainable. Sometimes you forget what happens or where you were. Like, don't worry about that.
Just to do like a soft reset of her, like,
to calm her down. Because if she starts getting worked up, the universe will start crumbling around them. So it's her job, this Witch Agatha one, to kind of go through all this and just calm Scarlet Witch down at all times, so she doesn't realise that she's in this like weird world that is created. And also that woman, she you can see her leaving this place at one stage. That's in black and white. And if you actually have the captions on, her name is Agnes, which I just think is like, and they've just rearranged the letters of Agatha. They've added an N in there. Like, she's just kind of mixing up her name or whatever. But I think she's involved in this somehow. And like, say when Vision is like freaking out at the end, because nobody's moving at that end pit, like everybody is still, and he can't understand what's happening in this dimension, and he kind of touches her, and then she's like, "Oh, I thought you were dead." Or no, she's like, he's like, I thought you were dead. He's like, no, you're dead. So like, I think this is a whole scenario where she has sold her soul to the devil to create this universe that her and Vision can live in, and she doesn't want to be reminded that it's not real.
This is really interesting because we see two kids, like two newborn babies in the trailer.
Yeah, they're holding the twins.
Yeah, the twins are shards of Mephisto's soul in the comics.
Yeah, is it Wiccan and Speed are the two kids?
Yeah. So, oh my god, that does tie in. Fuck me. Interesting.
I'm not just a handsome face, Sean.
And
sometimes I have an idea.
What if... Okay, there's one thing that everyone is pointing at is there's a wine bottle, and the label on the bottle says Maison du Mépris, which... Right. Translates from French to a house of contempt, right? But if you just take the first bit, it's house of, and then Mépris begins with an M. So it's House of M. Which is the story where Scarlet Witch eliminates 99% of all mutants.
And I think at the end of this, it'll be the opposite.
Exactly.
I think she will bring mutants into the MCU. So in that comic book, she says no more mutants, and she like wipes them all out. At the end of this, she will bring them into the MCU, and that's how you get the X-Men.
Like there needs to be some element of that, surely.
Oh, I think this is good. I think this could be really, really good.
I love when we do wild speculation. It's the best.
Wild speculation of just comic book. Just let's throw shit at the wall and see if it's cool.
Why not, you know? I also love Vision's Halloween costume.
Oh yeah, their Halloween costumes are their costumes in comic books.
Yeah, and Vision's looks so shit, but I love it.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, I think Mephisto will be involved in this. Like, if you're going to go batshit, you might as well bring the devil in.
You might as well. And then you have, like, Mephisto and Doctor Strange are, like, they're big... like, Doctor Strange and Mephisto... Sorry. Mephisto is Doctor Strange's big bad a lot of the time.
Interesting.
This is very interesting.
I'm interested to see more of the trailers, just to see what else they reveal.
Yeah, but this is coming out in December. Like, it's not too far away.
I think they'll drop one more before they release it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they'll drop one maybe in November or so.
Do you think they'll do it week on week, or they'll just drop all the episodes at once?
I think week on week. I think they're trying to bring people into Disney Plus.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. That's what they did with Mandalorian. I really liked having something to watch every week.
Yeah, it's something to look forward to, and also, if you just release it in bulk, people sign up for a month and then they leave. But if you release it week to week and it's 10 episodes, you have to be signed up for at least 2 months.
That's
if you want to get those episodes. It's basic trying to get money out of people. But yeah, I think this trailer looks really good. I think we can speculate. We can start rumours all we want, but I'm just really excited to see what happens in it. It could go numerous ways. It looks batshit insane. And I think that's good for setting up the universe of madness, or what's it called? What's the Doctor Strange thing?
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness, yes. And so I'm interested to see how this all links in. But Shaun, I think that's it for this week's Movie Mondays.
What a week! This was a newsy week, dude.
Newsy week, yeah. Look, it's not often we have news here on Monday Movies.
Monday Movies.
Monday Movies.
I never signed up for that show.
I refuse to partake in Movie Mondays. Wait, no.
No, we've gone wrong. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays.
Yeah, that's the name.
That's the one. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thank you, of course, goes out to all of our patrons over on Patreon. Patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast if you want to support us over there. But big shout out to Charlotte Williams, Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Ray Ging, Roisin Hally, Ryan Evanson, Shaun Jamieson and Dominic. Thank you all so much for your support. Yous are all the best. We hope you enjoyed the Incredibles episode that we put out on Patreon. It was a lot of fun to record, and hopefully it was fun to listen to.
Hopefully it was.
But yes, so you can support us over there. There's a link in the description if you're interested. Or you can follow us on Twitter at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook Heroes for Hire Podcast. Instagram Heroes for Hire Podcast. Or you can email us any questions or queries to heroesforhire_@outlook.com. But I think that's about it, Connor.
I think it is. So I've been Connor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Mean.
I'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.